Yes, I gave my text. I'm not going to read everything because Mr. Babinet already mentioned a number of the remarks I intended to do. That is, this is my own. Peter sees the bandages and the sudarium, which was on Jesus' head, which are wrapped up in another place. So Peter sees the cloths. So it is the wrapping sheet. So it is the shroud of Turin. We are not speaking about bandages. All these bandages are laying, so they are empty. The corpse is not longer inside them. Peter also sees the sudarium, which is sweat cloths. Okay, but this was used as a chin bandage as prescribed by the Hebrew Mishnah. And this chin bandage is still in its place within the shroud, that is where he had been laid and wrapped around the face of Jesus, just as it had been done for Lazarus. So it is still rigid, where all the other bandages lay flat. This one has remained rigid, retaining a circular shape, and this tells us that there was a chin bandage, a chin cloth. This is told by Peter, even though he was not able to understand immediately what the consequences of the fact was. He just sees that the grave is empty, whereas John sees that everything is still at its place because he saw the burial. So he says that everything is still in the same place with the exception of the corpse. Mr. Upinski uses the word evanescent. So for him, it's just a disappearance of the corpse, which is absolutely beyond normal, and this leads him to the faith in Jesus, a faith which could only be inspired by God. Faith is not a result of an intellectual argument. And I wish to add, if one of our rationalists could have witnessed the empty grave, well, could he enter the empty grave? I'm sure he would interpret this as a visit by an extraterrestrial being or something else of the same. So I'm skipping a number of remarks, but I would like to stress that this interpretation, which is now certain, is due to two French scholars, Father Lavergne, whom I presented in 1988 in Turin, and Father Fayet, a member of the Roman Theology Academy, a distinguished scholar, therefore. And now I'm going to go on and skip to almost to the end of my report. That is John 23:8. I repeated the title for the translator because I know very well how difficult the work is. So the true significance of John 23:8 is crucial. First of all, It is true that the resurrection by Christ includes the access to God's glory, and this can only be reached by means of faith. So we must make a difference between the human reason and faith. He saw and believed, says St. John at verse 8. So two different things, but on the basis of this expression, we must abandon the ridiculous interpretation, the following, that is, he saw that nothing was there to be seen, and therefore he maintained his faith. On the contrary, John saw something which was absolutely significant. That is, John, through the shrouds, by means of the shrouds, so the evidence that Jesus had disappeared, so there is a character of sign. So it is what John saw that led him to faith. So there is no cause and effect reaction, but there is a leading towards faith, towards the door to faith, because beyond that door there is God giving faith.
C'est un peu théologique cette chose-là, mais c'est mon texte. Je n'ai rien ajouté sur.
It's a theological argument, but it is my text. I'm not adding anything. In the complementary study, of which I was author and which I'm skipping, I just deal with the thesis of Sudarian. We refer to Sudara, the Greek word for Sudarian. This gives us the idea of a very large Sudarium which was discovered in the Targum of Ruth. So why should we worry about this when both in Lucas and John we have two references in the Acts of the Apostles? So we have two references, I was saying, which refer the existence of a Sudarium, which has a meaning just opposite of a large burying Sudarium. So all this was said by the other speakers. So I thank Mr. Upinski. I asked him to be invited to speak, so I'm happy that his honor has been accorded to me. So thank you.